Stephanie with MetaStock. In this video, we're going to review how to use non-daily intervals in MetaStock's PowerTools. So let's get started. So in this video, we're going to review how to use the non-daily intervals in MetaStock's PowerTools. So we're going to start in the Explorer. And I have the Equus Performance Daily Exploration selected. And I'm going to go over here and we're going to select the drop-down menu under Interval. So you'll see the addition of quite a few items here. We've added some intraday intervals here. We've got 1 minute, 5 minute, 10, 30, 60, and 240. These are all new. And we also have custom down here at the bottom, which allows us to essentially create custom intervals. So you can do, like a 8-minute scan or a 2-week scan, an 8-day scan. It really allows a lot more flexibility when using the scanning tool, as well as our backtester and our forecaster. So let's run a couple of these scans. The first thing, which I didn't really show here, is we need to select a list of instruments. We're going to work with the Dow Jones Utilities. And let's just run a 240-minute scan first. We're going to do load the last 500 records. And we're going to click on Reports. So the scan went ahead and it ran through. We're just going to look at a few things here in the report. The first thing is over here in the Exploration tab, you'll see under periodicity it does show intraday and the interval is 240. So this is just a confirmation. It just kind of shows you really quickly that we are in fact requesting the custom interval, that the calculations are being done against that 240 custom interval. If we go back here to results, and we're just going to highlight a couple of these charts. And we're going to do Open Chart, and we'll close the report. You'll see here that the charts from the Exploration report do open in the intraday time frame. It makes it a lot easier to transition into your charting workflow for attaching experts or indicators after running your scans. So let's go ahead and go back into the Explorer. Next, what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and do a custom interval. So we still have the 15 Dow Jones instruments selected, and this time we will select custom. When you select custom from the drop-down menu, you get that custom interval box up. And under interval, you have minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, quarters, years, and these are the different intervals that you can use to create these custom time frames. We will select day, and we'll do 3. In the multiplier field, you can highlight and type in what you want. You can use the arrows, whatever workflow you like best. So we'll do a custom 3-day scan, and select OK, and start the exploration. And go to Reports, and we're just going to check out that Exploration tab. So here the periodicity shows daily. It doesn't break it out and say 3-day. The reason being is that we simply request daily data. We request enough to compress it into 500 3-day bars to do those calculations. So when you're selecting one of those native intraday periodicities like the 240, it will actually say 240, whereas the other ones where it's doing the compression, it will still say daily, even though it is in fact doing 3-day bars. And again, if you open up some of these charts, we are getting these 3-day intervals as we would expect. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the PowerTools. And we'll do one more custom time frame, but we'll do an intraday one. Let's just do a 6-minute scan so we can quickly see how that looks in the reports. And I'm just going to select just a couple instruments. And here, because it's a custom scan, it will request 1 minute data, compress it into the 6-minute bars, and that's why it displays this way in the report. And we'll just open up a chart. There's our 6-minute chart over here. So that pretty much is, a quick review of the non-daily, I guess we should say, intervals or the new additions to the Explorer as far as our intervals go. So we now have intraday support as well as custom interval support for the Explorer. So we're going to move on over to the system test. Let's cancel that. And the system test has the same new functionality for the non-daily interval support. So we're just going to select a test. I'm going to go grab a couple of instruments, and we're going to backtest a few things and review the report and kind of see how that looks. So we'll do let's do a 30-minute scan, or backtest, excuse me, and let's go ahead and start that. We'll do view results. And we're just going to take the most profitable one and drill in a little bit deeper into the report. So you'll see here at the very top line it says 30-minute bars, and it gives us a date range, right? So that tells you that we are requesting 30-minute bars. If you go here into the equity, you can see that the timestamps are in fact every 30 minutes within the trading sessions, right, of that particular instrument. So we can also do a plot on chart. Let me close that and maximize the chart. It does open up in the 30-minute time frame. So the behavior is very similar to the Explorer in that all of the reports reflect the time frame in which we've selected, and the chart opens up in the time frame that we've selected. So let's do a custom backtest. We'll select a daily, and let's do, 12. Actually, let's do 2. And we'll start the scan and view our results. We'll just sort it by net profit again. And so here it shows the same information. We requested 250 bars based off of the options that we had set, and they're 2-day bars. And there's our date range. And if we go into our equity, you'll see that the dates are spaced every 2 days, right? And then we can plot this one. And there it is. My equity line is showing up as little dots, but it's there. So that's, again, is just a review, a very quick review of the custom interval, or I should say non-daily interval support in our backtester. It's very basic, quickly showed you how the information is represented in the report, how when you open up the charts from the report, they do open up in the interval that was selected as well as the custom interval. And now we're going to run through the same support in our forecaster. So for the forecaster, you can either type in the instrument you want to forecast or select it from the public list. So for this example, we'll just do Microsoft. And again, you have the same intervals supported in the forecaster as you do in the other PowerTools. So we'll just do 240. And we'll start the forecaster. So on the forecaster up here in the tab, it'll tell you, the interval that we've selected. Also, you'll notice here, rather than the term days, because we are now supporting these non-daily intervals, all the references to days has been changed to bars. Both in the statistical report, you'll also see here that you'll have references to time of when events took place rather than just dates. That's going to be the main change in your forecaster. In addition, in the forecaster, when you are creating custom patterns, and you can say yes here, you'll see that there is now support for intraday scans. Intraday patterns. So let's go ahead and just save this one. So there's my custom pattern down there. And as far as price interval compatibility, it says here, that we are compatible for intraday as well as for daily and weekly and monthly and quarterly. In addition, all the other built-in ones have an identifier of their compatibility. You'll have ones, for example, like the January barometer, negative and positive, are only compatible for daily. So it has these indications of which both custom and built-in ones on which periodicity they are compatible with, right? And you can edit custom patterns that you create. For example, this one here is already highlighted. We can modify the selected pattern, and then we can change whether it's compatible with whatever time frame we want. Hit save, and then you can see here that that's changed, right? So we're going to do a custom forecast. That's a 4-day custom forecast. So even though we are doing a 4-day custom forecast, it will still refer to all of the information in bars. So the word days will no longer be referred to. So that concludes our training on the workflow for using non-daily intervals in MetaStock. I encourage you to watch our other videos. If you have any questions, please visit us at www.metastock.com/customer.